evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to East Bay Theater's production of the 2015 Tony Award-winning play, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. The first part of the show is about an hour long, and the second part is approximately 45 minutes. There will be a 15-minute intermission between, and concessions will be sold right down here for $1 each. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
It was 7 minutes after midnight. The dog was lying on the grass in the middle of the lawn in front of Mrs. Shear's house. Its eyes were closed. It looked as though it was running on its side, the way dogs run when they think they are chasing a cat in a dream. But the dog was not running, nor asleep. The dog was dead.
Get away from my dog!
There was a garden fork sticking out of the dog. The dog was called Wellington. It belonged to Mrs. Shears, who was our friend. She lived on the opposite side of the road, 2 houses to the left.
Get away from my dog!
My name is Christopher John Francis Boone. I live at 36 Randolph Street, Swindon, Wiltshire. I know all the countries of the world and capital cities, and every prime number up to 7,507.
Get away from my dog, for goodness sake!
After 12.5 minutes, a policeman arrived. She had a big orange leaf stuck to the bottom of her shoe, which was poking out from one side. This is good, Christopher. It's quite exciting. I love the details. They make it much more realistic. She squatted down next to me. She said to me,
"Would you like to tell me what's going on here, young man?"
"I do not tell lies. Mother used to say that this was because I am a good person, but it is not because I am a good person. It's because I can't tell lies."
The dog is dead.
I've got that far.
I think someone killed the dog.
How old are you?
I'm 15 years and 3 months and 2 days.
What precisely are you doing in the garden?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, what were you doing in the garden in the first place?
I was holding the dog.
Why were you holding the dog?
I like dogs.
Did you kill the dog?
I did not kill the
You
dog.
seem very upset about this. I'm going to ask you once again. Terrific. Young man, I'm going to ask you to please stand up calmly and quietly. Marvelous. Great. Just flipping. I'm arresting you for assaulting a police officer. I strongly advise you to get into the back of the police car because if you try to do that monkey business again, you stupid idiot, I'm going to seriously lose my shit. Is that understood?
People confusing. This is for 2 main reasons. The first main reason is that people do a lot of talking without using any words. Chabon says that if you raise one eyebrow, it can mean lots of different things. It can mean, I want to do sex with you. I never said that.
Yes, you did.
Didn't use those words, Christopher.
You did last year on September 12th at first break.
And it can also mean I think that what you just said was very stupid.
Could you empty your pockets onto the desk, please?
Is that in case I have anything in them that I could use to kill myself or escape or attack a policeman with?
That's right.
I have a Swiss Army knife, but I only use that for doing odd jobs, not for stabbing things or hurting people.
Jolly good.
A piece of string.
A piece of a wooden puzzle. 3 pellets of rat food for Toby my pet rat.
£1.47. This was made with a £1 coin, a 20-pence coin, 2 10-pence coins, a 5-pence coin, and a 2-pence coin.
A red paper clip.
A key for the front door.
A Swiss Army knife with 13 attachments, including a wire stripper and toothpick and tweezers.
Could you take off your watch, please, Christopher?
No,
I'm sorry, Christopher.
I need my watch to know what time it is.
Give it here, lad.
Ah!
All right, son, you keep it. Do you have any family, Christopher?
Yes,
And who is your family?
father and mother, but mother is dead, and also Aunt Teresa. She's my father's sister. She lives in Sunderland. And grandparents too, but 3 of them are dead, and Grandma Burton is in a home somewhere because she has senile dementia, and she thinks I'm someone on television.
Right. Lovely. Do you know your father's phone number, Christopher?
I could see the Milky Way as they drove me towards the town center.
Could you?
Lots of people think the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is actually a huge disk of stars millions of light years across.
Is that right?
For a long time, scientists are puzzled by the fact that the sky is dark at night, even though there are millions of stars in our universe.
Fantastic.
Christopher, Mr. Boone, I have some questions for you.
Are you going to interview me and record the interview?
I don't think there will be any need for that. I've spoken to your father. He says you didn't mean to hit the policeman. Did you mean to hit the policeman?
Yes.
But you didn't mean to hit the policeman.
No. I didn't mean to hurt the policeman. I just wanted him to stop touching me.
You do know that it's wrong to hit a policeman, don't you?
Yes.
Did you kill the dog, Christopher?
I did not kill the dog.
You do understand that it is wrong to lie to a policeman and that you can get into a very great deal of trouble if you do?
Yes.
Do you know who killed the dog?
No.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes. I always tell the truth.
Right. I'm going to give you a caution.
Is that going to be on a piece of paper, like a certificate that I can keep?
No. A caution means that we are going to keep a record of what you did, that you hit a policeman, but that it was an accident and you didn't mean to hurt the policeman.
But it wasn't an accident.
Christopher! Please.
If you get into any more trouble, we will take out this record and see that you've been given a caution, and we will take things much more seriously. Do you understand what I'm saying?
The second main reason I find people confusing is that people often talk using metaphors. These are examples of metaphors.
I am seriously going to lose my shit.
He was the apple of her eye. They had a skeleton in the cupboard.
We had a real pig of a day.
The dog was stone dead.
I'm gonna spill the beans. The word metaphor means carrying something from one place to another, and it is when you describe something by using a word for something that it isn't. This means that the word metaphor is a metaphor. Wow, that's clever.
It's true.
Yes. I think it should be called a lie, because a pig is not like a day, and people do not have skeletons in their cupboards. And when I try and make a picture of the phrase in my head, it just confuses me. Because imagining an apple in someone's eye doesn't have anything to do with liking them a lot, and it makes you forget what the person is talking about.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't kill Wellington.
I know. Christopher, you have to stay out of trouble, okay?
I didn't know I was going to get into trouble. I liked Wellington, so I went to say hello to him, but I didn't know someone had killed him.
Just keep your nose out of other people's business.
I wonder if the police will find out who killed Wellington and punish the person who did it.
Christopher, I think you should just leave it.
Are you sad about Wellington?
Yes, Christopher, you could say that. You could very well say that.
Mother died 2 years ago. I came home from school one day and no one answered the door, so I went and found the secret key leaking under a flower pot outside the kitchen window. I let myself into the house and wiped my feet on the mat. I put my key on the table, and then I took my coat off and hung it by the side of the fridge so it would be ready for school the next day. And then I gave 3 pellets of rat food to Toby, who is my pet rat. I made myself a raspberry milkshake and heated it up in the microwave. Then, I went up to my bedroom and turned on my bedroom light and played 6 games of Tetris and got to level 38, which is my 4th best ever score. An hour later, Father came home from work.
Christopher, have you seen your mom?
No.
He went downstairs and started making some phone calls. I did not hear what he said. Then he came up to my room and said he had to go out for a while and he wasn't sure how long he would be. He said that if I needed anything, I should call him on his mobile phone. He was away for 2.5 hours. When he came back, I went downstairs.
I'm afraid you won't be seeing your mother for a while.
Why not?
Your mother has had to go into hospital.
Can we visit her?
No,
Why can't we?
she needs rest. She needs to be on her own.
Is it a psychiatric hospital?
No, it's an ordinary hospital. She has a problem. Problem with her heart.
Okay, I will make her a get well card. If I make her a get well card, will you bring it to her?
How are you today, Christopher?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
In the bus on the way to school, we passed 4 red cars in a row.
4.
So today's a good day.
Great. I am glad.
I've decided I'm going to try and find out who killed Wellington because a good day is a day for projects and planning things.
Who's Wellington?
Wellington is a dog that used to belong to our neighbor, Mrs. Shears, but he is dead now because somebody killed him by putting a garden fork through him. And I found him, and then a policeman thought I killed him, but I hadn't. And then he tried to touch me, so I hit him, and then I had to go to the police station.
Goodness, Christopher.
And I'm going to find out who killed Wellington and make it a project, even though Father told me not to.
Did he?
Yes.
I see.
I don't always do what I'm told,
Why?
because sometimes when people tell you what to do, it is confusing and does not make sense. For example, people often say, be quiet, but they don't tell you how long to be quiet for.
And why did your father tell you not to try to find out who killed Wellington?
I don't know.
Well, maybe if your father told you not to do something, then you just shouldn't do it, Christopher. Well, we're meant to be writing stories in class today, so why don't you write about what happened with Wellington, okay?
Okay, I will.
Christopher? I'm sorry, Christopher. Your mother has died. She's had a heart attack. It wasn't expected.
What kind of a heart attack?
I don't know. Now, Christopher, isn't the time to be asking questions like that.
It was probably an aneurysm.
I'm sorry, Christopher. I'm really sorry.
That evening, I went round to Mrs. Shear's house and knocked on the door and waited for her to answer it.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to tell you that I didn't kill Wellington, and also I plan on finding out who did it.
Christopher, I really don't think I want to see you right now.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
If you don't go now, I will call the police again.
Reverend Peters, where is heaven?
I'm sorry, Christopher.
In our universe, whereabouts is it exactly?
It's not in our universe. It's another kind of place altogether.
But there isn't anything outside of our universe. There isn't another kind of place altogether, except there might be if you go through a black hole. And if heaven were on the other side of a black hole, then dead people would have to be shot into space on a rocket to get there, and they aren't, or people would notice.
Well, when I say heaven is outside of our universe, it's really just a manner of speaking. I suppose what it really means is that there was God.
But where is God?
Christopher, let's talk about this on another day when I have more time.
The next day was Saturday, and there was not much to do on a Saturday unless Father takes me out somewhere on an outing to the boating lake, to the garden centre. But on this Saturday, England were playing Romania at football, which meant that we weren't going to go on an outing because Father was going to stay home to watch the match on the television. So I made a decision. I decided to do some more detection. I decided to go out on my own. I do not like talking to strangers, so talking to the other people on our street was brave, but if you are going to do detective work, you have to be brave. And so I had no choice.
Can I help you?
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Who are you?
I'm Christopher Boone from number 36, and I know you. You're Mrs. Thompson.
I'm Mrs. Thompson's sister.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Who the hell is Wellington?
Mrs. Shear's dog. She's from number 39.
Someone killed her dog?
With a fork.
Oh my god.
A garden fork.
Oh?
Do you know who killed him?
I haven't a bloody clue.
Did you see anything suspicious Thursday evening?
Look, son, do you really think you should be going around asking questions like this?
Yes, I do, because I'm writing a book about it.
Well, I was in Colchester Thursday, so you're asking the wrong person.
Thank you for helping me with my investigation.
It's Christopher, isn't it?
Yes. Do you know who killed Wellington?
No, I don't. No, I'm sorry.
Did you see anything suspicious on Thursday evening?
Like what?
Like screaming or the sounds of people arguing.
Maybe you should be talking to your father about this?
I can't because he told me to stay out of other people's business.
Perhaps he has a point, Christopher.
So you don't know anything that might be helpful to my investigation?
No, you be careful, young man.
I will. Thank you for helping me with my investigation. Do you know who killed Wellington?
Bloody hell. Policemen really are getting younger, aren't they?
2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 49, 53, 57, 63. Do you know who killed Wellington?
No, I don't.
Somebody must know who killed Wellington because whoever killed Wellington knows that they killed Wellington.
You're Christopher, aren't you?
Yes.
We haven't talked before, have we?
No.
I see you every day going to school on your school bus when I'm walking my dog. It's very nice of you to come and say hello.
Thank you.
I have a grandson your age.
My age is 15 years and 3 months and 3 days.
Well, almost your age. You don't have a dog, do you?
No.
I bet you'd like a dog, wouldn't you?
I have a rat.
A rat.
He's called Toby.
Oh.
Most people don't like rats because they think they carry diseases like bubonic plague, but that isn't true.
Would you like to come in for tea?
I don't go into other people's houses.
Well, perhaps I could bring some out here. Do you like lemonade?
I only like orangeade.
Luckily, I have some of that as well. What about Battenberg?
I don't know because I don't know what Battenberg is.
Well, it's a type of cake. It has marzipan icing around the edge.
Is it a long-sized cake with equally cut, alternately colored squares?
Yes, I think you could probably describe it like that.
I think I like the pink squares, but not the yellow squares, and I don't know about marzipan because I don't know what marzipan is.
I'm afraid marzipan is yellow too. Perhaps I could bring some cookies out instead. Do you like cookies?
Yes, some sorts of cookies.
I'll get a selection.
She moved slowly because she was an old lady and she was inside the house for more than 6 minutes. And I began to get nervous because I didn't know her well enough to know whether she was telling the truth about getting orangeade and Battenberg cake. And I thought she might be ringing the police and that I'd get into much more serious trouble because of the caution. So I walked away.
Why would you kill a dog?
I wouldn't.
I think you would only kill a dog if A, you hated the dog, B, were a lunatic, or C, wanted to make Mrs. Shear sad. I don't know anybody who hated Wellington, so if it was A, it was probably a stranger, and I don't know any loony people, so if it was B, it was also probably a stranger.
Right.
Therefore, Wellington was most likely killed by someone who was known to him.
Christopher.
In fact, you're most likely to be murdered by someone who is known to you on Christmas Day.
Is that a fact?
Yes, actually, it is a fact. Therefore, like I said, Wellington, I'm going to find out more about Mr. Shears.
Mr. Boone, nobody has ever taken an A-level examination in the school before.
He can be the first then.
I don't know if we have the facilities to allow him to do that.
Then get the facilities.
I can't treat Christopher differently to any other student.
Why not?
Because then everyone would want to be treated differently.
So?
It would set a precedent. Christopher can always take his A-levels later, when he's 18, which is, after all, the age everyone else takes their A-levels.
Christopher is getting a crap enough deal already, don't you think? Without you messing with him from a great height as well. Geez, this is the one thing he's really good at.
Perhaps we should talk about this later. Maybe on our own.
Are there things which you're too embarrassed to say to me in front of Christopher?
No, it's not that.
Say them now then.
If Christopher were to take his A-levels, he would have to have a member of staff, a supervisor, looking after him on his own in a separate room.
All right. They can do it after school. I'll pay for it. Here, 50 quid. Is that enough?
Mr. Boone.
I'm not going to take no for an answer.
Where have you been?
I've been out.
I've just had a phone call from Mrs. Shears. What the heck were you doing snooping round her garden?
I was doing detective work trying to find out who killed Wellington.
Jeez, Christopher. How many times do I have to tell you? I told you, keep your nose out of other people's business.
I think Mr. Shears might have killed Wellington.
I will not have that man's name mentioned in my house.
Why not?
That man is evil.
Does that mean that he might have killed Wellington?
Christopher, I'm going to say this for the last and final time. Look at me when I'm talking. You are not to go asking Mrs. Shears who killed that bloody dog. You are not to go asking anyone who killed that bloody dog. You are not to go trespassing in other people's gardens. You are to stop this ridiculous bloody detective game at once. I'm going to make you promise me, Christopher. You know what it means when I make you promise.
I think I would make a very good astronaut.
Yes, Fate, I think you would.
To be a good astronaut, you have to be intelligent, and I'm intelligent. You also have to understand how machines work, and I understand how machines work.
You also had to enjoy being on your own in a tiny spacecraft thousands and thousands of miles away from the surface of the Earth. And I wouldn't get homesick because I'd be surrounded by things I like, which are computers and machines in outer space.
You do like those.
And I would know that there was no one else near me for thousands and thousands of miles.
It would be like playing a computer game.
You do like those too.
Which is what I sometimes pretend at night in the summer when I go and lie on the lawn and look up at the sky and I put my hands behind the sides of my face so that I can't see the fence and the chimney, the clothesline, and I can pretend I'm in space. And all I could see would be stars. And stars are the places where the molecules that life is made of were constructed billions of years ago. For example, all the iron in your blood, which stops you being anemic, was made in a star. And I would like it if I could take Toby with me into space. And that might be allowed, because they sometimes do take animals into space for experiments. So if I could think of a good experiment you could do with a rat that didn't hurt the rat, I could make them let me take Toby. But if they didn't let me, I would still go, because it would be a dream come true.
Father said.
I see. It's a pity.
So the book is finished.
Well, Christopher, if your father's told you not to do something, then I think he probably has a good reason. And I do think that you should stop. But I also think that you should be very, very proud of yourself. Because, Christopher, what you've written so far is just, it's truly incredible.
But it's not a proper book.
Why not?
I never found out who killed Wellington, so the murder is still at large.
Well, not all murders are solved, and not all murderers are caught. Christopher, just do what your father tells you to, okay?
Okay.
to you the other day. I'd come out again and you'd gone. I had to eat all the biscuits myself. I was looking forward to a little chat.
I don't do chatting. I don't like it.
No, I don't suppose you do. Do you like computers?
Yes.
You know, I see you sitting at your computer in your bedroom sometimes when I look across the street.
I also like maths and looking after Toby and machines in outer space.
I bet you're very good at maths, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to be taking A-levels maths next year.
Really? A-level maths?
Yes, and I'm going to get an A-star.
Well, I am very impressed, and I do hope you get an A-star.
I will.
And the other thing I know about you is that your favorite color is not yellow.
No, and it's not brown either. My favorite colors are red and metal colored. Do you know Mr. Shears?
Not really, no. I mean, I knew him well enough to say hello, but I didn't know much about him. I think he worked in the National Westminster Bank in town.
My father said that he's an evil man. Do you know why he said that?
Perhaps it'd be best not to talk about these things, Christopher.
Why?
Because maybe your father is right, and you shouldn't go around asking questions like this.
Why not?
Because obviously he's going to find it quite upsetting.
Why is he going to find it quite upsetting?
I think you know why your father doesn't like Mr. Shears very much.
Did he kill Mother?
Kill her?
Yes, did he kill Mother?
No, of course he didn't kill your mother.
But he gave her enough stress that she had a heart attack and she went into hospital.
I honestly don't know what you're talking about, Christopher.
Or he hurt her that she had to go to hospital.
Did she have to go into hospital?
Yes, and it wasn't very serious at first, but then she had a heart attack.
Oh my goodness.
And she died.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Christopher, I'm so sorry. I never realized.
Why did you say, I think you know why your father is going to find it quite upsetting?
Dear Christopher, look, perhaps we should take a walk in the park. This is not the place to be talking about this kind of thing. I am going to tell you something. You must promise not to tell your father that I told you this.
Why?
Christopher, please, just promise me.
Okay, I promise.
Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears.
I know.
No, Christopher, I'm not sure that you do. I mean, she was very good friends. Very, very good friends.
Do you mean that they were doing sex?
Yes, Christopher, that is what I mean. I'm sorry, Christopher, I didn't mean to say anything that was going to upset you.
I have to go now.
Are you okay, Christopher?
I can't be on my own with you because you're a stranger.
I'm not a stranger, Christopher, I'm a friend.
Did you tell your father about this?
No.
Are you going to tell your father about this?
No.
Did it make you sad?
Did what make me sad?
Did it make you sad to find out that your mother and Mr. Shears had an affair?
No.
Are you lying?
No. It didn't make me feel sad because Mother is dead, and I'd be feeling sad about something that isn't real and doesn't exist, and that would be stupid.
What was your mother like? Do you remember much about her?
I remember the 20th of July, 2008. We were on holiday in Cornwall on the beach in a place called Palpero. She was wearing denim shorts and a stripy blue swimming costume, and she was sunbathing on a towel with stripes, and she was reading a book by Georgia Hayer called The Masqueraders. When she finished sunbathing, she went into the water, and that's when she said,
Bloody Nora, it's cold.
Bloody Nora, it's cold. And she told me to step into the water and go in, but I didn't like taking off my clothes because I don't like getting wet. So she told me to roll up my trousers and step into the water a little way, so I did. And then she jumped backwards into the water, and I couldn't see her, so I thought a shark had eaten her. So I screamed, and then she stood up and walked over to where I was standing. And then she said,
Come on, Christopher. Touch my hand. Come on now. It's okay. It's okay, Christopher. There aren't any sharks in Cornwall.
When we were inside the park, Mrs. Alexander stopped and turned to me, and she said, I'm going to tell you something, and you must promise me that you will not tell your father. Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears.
And other times, she used to say,
You know, Christopher, if I hadn't married your father, I think I'd be living in a little farmhouse in the south of France somewhere with someone called Jean. And he'd be, a local handyman. You know, doing painting and decorating for people, gardening, building fences. And we'd have a French bulldog. And we'd have a veranda with figs growing around it. And there'd be a field of sunflowers at the bottom of the garden. And a little town on the hill in the distance. And we'd sit outside in the evening and we'd drink red wine and smoke French cigarettes and we'd watch the sun go down.
What is this?
It's a book I'm writing.
Jeez, Christopher. Is this true? Did you speak to Mrs. Alexander?
Yes.
Christopher, how stupid are you? What did I tell you, Christopher?
Stop asking Mrs. Shears and everyone else about who killed that bloody dog, and to stop going snooping in other people's gardens, and to stop this ridiculous bloody detective game, except I haven't done any of those things.
Don't give me that bollocks! You knew exactly what you were doing. I've read the book, remember? What else did I tell you, Christopher?
I don't know.
Come on, memory man! Not to go poking your nose in other people's business. What do? You go poking your nose in other people's business. You go around digging up the past and sharing it with every Tom, Dick, and Harry you run into. What am I going to do with you, Christopher? What am I going to do with you?
I wasn't doing detective work. I was just chatting with Mrs. Alexander's.
I ask you to do one thing for me, Christopher. One thing.
I didn't want to talk to Mrs. Alexander's. It was Mrs. Alexander's who...
I don't care! I need a drink. I'm sorry I grabbed you. I didn't mean to. Christopher, I love you very much. Don't ever forget that. I worry about you sometimes because I don't want to see you getting into trouble, because I don't want you to get hurt.
Where's my book?
Christopher, do you understand that I love you?
Is it in the dustbin at the front of the house?
The next day, when I got home from school, Father was still at work. So I went outside and looked inside the dustbin, but the book wasn't there. I wondered if Father had put it into his van and driven to the dump and put it into one of those big bins there, but I did not want that to be true because then I would never see it again. One other possibility was that Father had hidden my book somewhere in the house. So I decided to do some detecting to see if I could find it. I started by looking in the kitchen. Then I detected in the laundry room, and then I detected in the dining room. Then I detected in the living room where I found the missing wheel from my Airfix Messerschmitt BF109 G6 model under the sofa. Then I went upstairs, but I didn't do any detecting in my own room because I reasoned that Father wouldn't hide something from me in my own room, and thus he is being very clever and doing what is called a double bluff, like in a real murder mystery novel. So I decided to look in my own room, only if I couldn't find the book anywhere else. I detected in the bathroom, but the only place to look was in the medicine cabinet, and there was nothing in there, which meant the only room left to detect in was Father's bedroom. I started by looking under the bed. There were 5 shoes and a comb with lots of hair in it, and a monkey wrench, and a chocolate chip cookie, and a magazine called Men Only, and a pair of underpants from TJ Maxx with a little bit of pee left in them, and a Scooby-Doo tie, and a wooden spoon, and a 3-month expired fish sandwich, but my book was not there. Then I looked in the drawers on either side of the dressing table, but these only contained aspirin and nail clippers and batteries and dental floss and tissues and a spare false tooth and a tampon, but my book wasn't there either. Then I looked in his wardrobe. In the bottom of the wardrobe was a large plastic toolbox, which was full of tools for DIY, which means doing it yourself. But I could see these without opening the box because it was made of transparent grey plastic. Then I saw that there was another box underneath the box. The other box was a black box. And when I opened the black box, I saw that my book was inside it. Then I heard Father's van pulling outside the house, and I knew that I had to think fast and be clever. I heard Father shutting the door of the van, and that is when I saw the envelope. It was an envelope addressed to me, and it was lying under my book in the black box with some other envelopes. And so I picked it up. It had never been opened. It said,
Christopher Boone, 36 Randolph Street, Swindon, Wiltshire.
Then I noticed there were lots of envelopes, and they were all addressed to me. And this was interesting, but confusing. And then I noticed how the words Christopher and Swindon were written. They were written like this.
Christopher, Swindon.
I only know 3 people who do little circles instead of dots over the letter I. And one of them is Siobhan, and one of them was Mr. Locksley, who used to teach at the school, and one of them was Mother.
Hello, Christopher.
Hello.
So, what have you been up to today, young man?
Today we learned life skills with Shaban, which is using money in public transport. And I had tomato soup and 3 apples.
Excellent, excellent. What do you fancy for chow tonight?
Baked beans and broccoli.
I think that can be very easily arranged. I'm going to put up the shelves in the living room. I'm afraid I'll make a bit of a racket, so if you want to watch television, you're going to have to shift it upstairs.
Okay. I'm going to go be on my own in my room.
Good man.
So I went into my room, and when I was in the room, I shut the door and took out the envelope. I opened the envelope. Inside there was a letter, and this is what was written in the letter.
451C, Chapter Road, Wilston, London, NW25NG, 020888788907. Dear Christopher, I was looking through some old photos last night, which made me sad, but then I found a photo of you playing with the train set we bought for you a couple of Christmases ago. And that made me happy, because it was one of the really good times we had together. Do you remember how you played with it all day, and you refused to go to bed at night because you were still playing with it? We told you about train timetables, and you made a train timetable, and you made the train run on time. And there was a little wooden station too. And we showed you how people wanted to go on the train, went to the station and bought a ticket and then got on the train. And you played with it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I liked remembering that a lot. You haven't written to me yet, so I know you're probably still angry with me. I'm sorry, Christopher, but I still love you. I hope you don't stay angry with me forever. And I'd love it if you were able to write me back. I think about you all the time. Lots of love. Your Mum.
I was really confused. Mother had never written me a letter before, and Mother had never lived in London. I looked at the front of the envelope, and I saw that there was a postmark, and there was a date on the postmark. The 16th of October, 2013, which meant that the letter was posted 18 months after Mother had died. When I started writing my book, there was only one mystery to solve, and now there were 2. I decided that I would not think about it anymore that night because I didn't have enough information and could easily leap to the wrong conclusions.
You're soaking.
Yes.
Give me a coat. I'll hang it up for you. How's school?
It was very good, thank you. Joseph Fleming took his trousers off and went all over the bathroom and the floor of the changing room.
Wow.
He also tried to eat it.
Okay.
And he bangs his chin and screams a lot.
He does he? Well, I guess I know how he feels. Christopher, I've got to go out.
Where are you going?
I've just had a call. There's a lady. Her cellar is flooded. I've got to go out and fix it.
Is it an emergency?
Yes, mate.
It's raining very heavily.
It is.
Outside looks like white sparks.
It does. I'll have my mobile with me.
Yes.
So you can call if there's any need.
Yes.
Behave yourself, Christopher, yeah?
I will.
So I went into his bedroom and opened up the wardrobe and lifted the toolbox off of the top of the black box. And I opened the black box. I counted up the letters. There were 43 of them, and they were all addressed to me in the same handwriting. I took one and opened it. Inside was this letter.
451C, Chapter Road, London, NW25NG, 020888788907. Dear Christopher, I said that I wanted to explain to you why I went away when I had the time to do it properly. Now I have lots of time, so I'm standing here with this letter, and I'm going to try and explain. I was not a very good mother, Christopher. Maybe if things had been different, maybe if you'd been different, I might have been better at it, but that's just the way things turned out. I'm not like your father. Your father, he's a much more patient person. He just gets on with things, and if things upset him, he doesn't let it show, but that's not the way I am, and there's nothing I can do to change that. Do you remember once when we were shopping in town together, and we had to go into the market to pick up fish sandwiches for dinner, and you were frightened because of all the people in the shop. So you crouched down on the floor, you put your hands over your ears, and you were in the way of everyone, so I got cross because I don't like shopping at Christmas either. But I told you to behave, and I tried to pick you up and move you, but when I did, you screamed, and you knocked those mixers off the shelf, and there was a big crash, and everyone turned around to see what was going on. And there were boxes, bits of string, bits of broken bowl on the floor, and I saw you'd wet yourself, and everyone was staring. And I was so cross. I just wanted to pick you up and move you out of the stall, but you wouldn't let me touch you, so we just had to wait until you stopped screaming. And I remember that night. I just cried and cried and cried. But your father, he was really nice about it at first. He made you supper, he put you to bed. He said that these things happen and that it would be okay, but I told him I couldn't take it anymore. And eventually he got really cross. And he told me I was being stupid and that I should pull myself together, so I hit him, which was wrong, but Christopher, I was so upset. We had a lot of arguments like that. And after a while, we just stopped talking very much because we knew it would always end up in an argument. And I felt really lonely.
And that was when I started spending lots of time with Roger.
And that was when I started spending lots of time with Roger. And I know you might not understand any of this, but I wanted to try to explain so that at least you knew.
We had a lot in common, and that was when we realized that we were in love with one another.
I said that I couldn't leave you, and he was sad about that, but he understood that you were really important to me.
And you started to shout, and I got cross, and I threw the food across the room, which I know I shouldn't have done.
You grabbed the chopping board, and you threw it, and it hit my foot, and it broke all of my toes.
And afterwards at home, your father and I had a huge argument.
And I couldn't walk properly for a month. Do you remember? And your father had to look after you.
And I remember looking at the two of you and seeing you together and thinking how you were really different with him, much calmer.
And it made me so sad because it was like you didn't need me at all.
And then I think I realized you and your father were probably better off if I wasn't living in the house.
And Roger asked me if I wanted to come with him.
And it broke my heart, but eventually I decided it would be better for all of us if I went.
So I said yes.
And I meant to say goodbye.
But when I rang your father, he said I couldn't. He was really upset. He said I
He said I couldn't talk to you.
And I didn't know what to do.
He said I was being selfish and that I was never to set foot inside of the house again.
And so I haven't.
I wonder if you can understand any of this. I know it can be difficult for you.
I thought what I was doing was best for all of us. I really hope it is.
Christopher, I never meant to hurt you.
I used to have dreams that everything would just get better. Do you remember you used to say you wanted to be an astronaut? Well, I had a dream where you were an astronaut and you were on the television, and I thought, that's my son. I wonder what it is you want to be now. Has it changed? Are you still doing maths? I hope you are. Loads of love. Mother.
Christopher! Christopher, what are you doing? Dear Christopher, what's gotten you riled up? What are these... Oh. It was an accident. I didn't know how to explain it. It was so complicated. And once I said she was in hospital... Jeez. Christopher, let's get you back into bed. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to touch you. It's going to be all right. Come on, lad. Let's get you back into bed. There we go. Now. Ripped it all up. I'll clean this up. Don't you worry about it. Look, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I need you to know that you can trust me. Life is difficult, you know. It's bloody hard telling the truth all the time. But I want you to know that I am trying. I need you to know that I am telling the truth from now on. About everything. Because if you don't tell the truth now, then later on, it hurts even more. So, I killed Wellington, Christopher. Let me explain. When your mum... Let me explain. When your mum left Eileen, Mrs. Shears, she was very good to me. She helped me through a very difficult time, and I'm not sure if I would have made it without her. And Christopher, I'll keep this simple. I thought we were friends, and I guess I thought wrong. We argued, Christopher, more than once. And she said some things that I'm not going to say to you because they weren't nice, but they hurt. And after this particularly nasty argument, she chucked me out of the house, and you know what that bugger's like. It's there waiting for me. You know what it's like. Roll over, tickle its belly, sink its teeth into your leg the next. I guess what I mean to say is, Christopher, that after
We've just finished an argument, and she slammed the door on me, and I'm in the garden, and the bugger's there. I know if I'd given it a kick, it would have backed off, but Christopher, you should know more than anyone else, when that red mist comes down, we're not that different, you and me. And it was like everything that had happened in these past 2 years, the anger, the pain, just... Look, let's leave it for tonight.
Father had murdered Wellington, and that meant that he could murder me. I had to get out of the house. I made a decision. I did this by thinking of all the things I could do and deciding whether they were the right decision or not.
Stay home.
I decided I couldn't stay home anymore.
Christopher, please!
No, I can't live with you because it is dangerous in this house, and I can't stay with you because you won't be able to watch me when school is closed.
But Christopher, I could try and...
No.
You can live with your Aunt Teresa.
No, you live in Sunderland. I don't know how to get to Sunderland.
Get a train. Get the train from Swindon.
Also, you smoke cigarettes and all you cook is fish sandwich. I can't live with you.
I think I'm a friend, Christopher.
No, I can't live with you because you've already used your toilets, and you're a stranger.
Well, not really a stranger.
451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road,
London, NW2 5NG.
There will now be a 15-minute intermission, and concessions will be available for $1 each. Thank you.
Miss Gascoigne wondered if we'd like to do play this year. She asked me to ask everybody if we'd like to do some kind of a performance for the school. Everyone could join in and play a part in it.
I think it would be a good thing for everyone to join in and play a part in it.
And well, I was wondering if you'd like to make a play out of your book.
No.
I think it could be good fun, Christopher.
I think it could be really good fun.
No. It's a book, and it's for me, not for everyone. Just for me.
I know that, but I think that people would be really intrigued to see what would happen if we started taking bits of your book and acting it out.
No, I don't like acting. It's like pretending something is really real when it isn't actually real at all. It's like a kind of lie.
Yes, but people like stories, Christopher. You love your Sherlock Holmes stories, don't you? But you know that Sherlock Holmes isn't a real person, right? I would help you if you were worried about that.
No.
I think I'd rather play the part of the policeman.
You're too fat to be a policeman.
Christopher! Christopher!
Oh, Christopher, what on earth has happened to you?
Can you look after Toby for me?
Oh.
He requires special pellets of rat food and fresh water every day. You can get it from the pet store.
Christopher, why do you need someone to look after Toby for you?
I'm going to go live with Mother.
I thought you told me your mother was dead.
I thought she was dead, but Father lied to me. Also, he killed Wellington.
Is your mother here?
No, she lives in London.
And do you intend on going to London on your own?
I think I'm going to do that, yes.
Do you know where your father is at the moment, Christopher?
No.
Well, perhaps we should give him a ring. I'm sure he's very worried about you, and I'm sure there's just been one big misunderstanding.
Credit card number
Edward Boone.
3558. 3558.
3558. 3558.
Credit card number, Edward Boone, 3558. Where can I buy a map?
Map of where?
I don't know.
Well, where are you trying to get to?
I'm trying to get to 451 C Chapter Road, London NW 25NG.
Well, you don't need a map to get to the station. You can see it from here.
No, I can't.
There, that building, says signal point at the top. British Railway signs will be the end, and the station's at the bottom of it.
Is it that stripy building with the long horizontal windows you can see peeking out over the houses?
That's the one.
I don't know how to get into that building.
Okay. I think we're done here.
Two, three.
Are you all right, young man?
You're too old.
Are you all right, young man?
No.
You're looking a bit worse for wear. The lady down at the cafe says when she tried talking to you, you were in a complete trance. What's your name?
Christopher Boone,
Where do you live?
36 Randolph Street.
What are you doing here?
I needed to sit down and be quiet and think.
Okay, let's keep this simple. What are you doing here at the railway station?
I'm going to see Mother.
Mother?
Yes, Mother.
When's your train?
I don't know. She lives in London. I don't know when there's a train to London.
So you don't live with your mother?
No, but I'm going to.
Where does your mother live?
In London.
Yes, but where in London?
451 C Chapter Road, London NW 25NG.
What is that?
That's Toby. He's my pet rat.
A pet rat?
Yes, he's very clean and he hasn't got bubonic plague.
Oh, well that's very reassuring.
Yes.
Have you got the ticket?
No.
So how precisely were you going to get to London then?
I have a bank card.
Is that your bank card?
No, it's Father's.
Father's?
Yes, Father's.
Okay.
He told me the code. It's 355.
Why don't you and I take a trip down to the cash machine, eh?
You mustn't touch me.
Why would I want to touch you?
I don't know.
Well, neither do I.
Because I got a caution for hitting a policeman, and if I do it again, it'll be a lot worse this time because of the caution.
Please insert your card. You're serious, aren't you?
Yes.
Please enter your personal identification number.
You lead the way.
Where to?
Back by the ticket office.
Please enter amount. £10, £20, £50, £100.
How much does it cost to get a ticket to London?
About 20 quid.
Please wait. Your transaction is being processed.
Is that pounds?
Yes, it's pounds.
Don't forget to stop by our cafe to try our brand new fish sandwich.
Where do I get a ticket to the train from?
Over there.
I want to go to London.
If you don't mind.
I want to go to London.
Single or return?
What's a single or return mean?
Well, do you want to go one way or would you like to come back?
I want to stay there when I get there.
For how long?
Until I go to university.
Single then. That'll be £17.
Where is platform 1?
Through the underpass and up the stairwell. You'll see the signs.
Underpass means tunnel, Christopher. Imagine a big red line that starts at your feet and goes straight through the tunnel. And you have to walk along the line. And count the rhythms in your head, because that helps, doesn't it? Like in music or in drumming. Left, right, left, right, left, right.
Left, right. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
Christopher! I caught you just in time. Your father's at the police station. He's looking for you. Okay, let's keep this simple. I'm going to take you to the police station. To take you there, so me, you, and your dad will sit down and have a little chat about who's going where.
Have you arrested father? Is he going to prison?
Arrested him? What for?
He killed a dog. His name's Wellington.
Well, I'm sure we can talk about that as well. Right now, young man, I think you've done enough adventuring for one day. Rob, it's Nigel. Stuck on the bloody train. Yeah, don't even. Listen, it stops at Didcot Parkway. If you can get someone to meet me with the car. Cheers. And tell his old man that we've got him. It's just going to take a bit, okay? Great. You are a bloody handful. Cheese.
Sweet pastry. Heathrow Airport, check in here.
Bagel Factor. Eat. Excellence in taste.
Yo, sushi.
Station Link.
Buses.
W.H. Smith.
Mezzanine.
Heathrow Express.
Clinique.
First Class Lounge.
Fuller's.
Key Carco.
The Mad Bishop.
And Bear Public House.
Fuller's London Pride.
Dixon.
Fries.
Paddington Bear. Paddington Station. Tickets. Taxis.
First aid.
Eastbourne Terrace.
Way at.
Bright Street. Come on. Shoe Hibley.
Uppercrust, Sainsbury.
Local information. Great Western First.
Position closed.
Closed.
Position closed.
Dog shop.
Fast ticket point.
Mealy's Cookies. Coffee.
Fergie to stay at Manchester United.
Freshly baked cookies and muffins.
Cold drink.
Penalty fares.
Warning. Savory pastries.
Platform 14.
Burger King.
Fresh Kill.
The Reed Cafe Bar.
Business travel.
Special edition.
Top 75 albums.
Evening Standard.
Left, right. Left, right. Left, right.
Is this Wildston?
I'm sorry.
Is this Wildston?
Indeed it is.
How do I get to 451C Chapter Road, London NW 25 and G?
Where's that?
It's 451C Chapter Road, London NW 25 and G. And sometimes you can write it as 451C Chapter Road, Wildston, London NW 25 and G.
Take the tube to Wilson Junction or Wilson Green. It's got to be near there somewhere. Are you for real? Over there. See that staircase with the escalators? See the sign? It says underground. Take the Bakerloo line to Wilson Junction or the Jubilee to Wilson Green. Are you alright?
Christopher, don't do this.
I'm doing very well.
Christopher, you won't be able to.
Yes, I can. I'm doing well.
Where's your Swiss Army knife? Have you lost it?
It's in my pocket.
Where's your red line? It's disappeared, hasn't it? How do you expect to find the Jubilee line? You don't even know what an escalator is, do you?
Yes, I do. It's a moving escalator. Look, you step on the top and it moves you down. It's funny. Look.
Stop laughing.
It's like something straight out of a science fiction.
I'm worried about you.
You're lying. You killed Wellington.
Where are you going?
I'm going to 451C Chapter Road.
Come back home.
Swindon isn't my home anymore. It's 451C Chapter Road, London NW 25 and G.
Stand behind the yellow line.
I know.
The train will be really noisy.
I know.
It'll really scare you.
I know.
Try not to let it. Watch the people, see how they get on and off.
Yes.
Count the trains, figure it out. Get the rhythms right. Trains coming, train stopped, doors open, trains going, silence. Trains coming, train stopped, doors open, trains going, silence. Trains coming, train stopped.
Doors open. Train going. Silence. Train coming, train stopped, doors open, train going, silence. Train coming, train stopped, doors open, train going, silence. Train coming, train stopped, doors open, train going. Toby, 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 where are you? Toby, Toby, what are you doing down there? Toby, when I catch you, Toby, I'm going to be very cross.
Oi! What are you doing?
My rat is on there.
Get out of there, for goodness sake.
Toby, I'm going to come down now.
Oh.
Oh my days, what is he doing?
What does it look like he's doing?
Toby, stop being so difficult.
Will somebody get to me to understand that?
Mate, please, get back up here.
My rat is on there.
What?
Mate, please, you're going to get yourself killed.
You're going to have to go down there and get him.
Me? How's it got to do with me?
He's a kid. You can't just get hit.
I know he's a kid. I can tell he's a kid by bloody looking at him. Mate, get your ass back up here now.
Don't worry, I got him.
Okay, then, you muppet.
Mate, what the hell do you think you were playing at?
My rat was on there.
Bloody horror.
Is he okay?
Him? Thanks a bundle. Jesus, pet rat. Oh, shit. Cafe's gonna close. I'm going to get my fish sandwich. Good luck.
Hey, kid, are you okay?
You mustn't touch me. I have a Swiss Army knife and it has a saw blade. It can cut through a finger.
Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no.
Left, right, left, right, left, right. Where is 451C Chapter Road, London, NW25 and G?
A to Z map line, 595. I'm not a walking encyclopedia.
Is that the A to Z?
No, it's a bloody fish sandwich.
Is that the A to Z?
Yes, that's the A to Z.
Can I buy it?
595. But you're giving me the money first. I'm not having you thieving.
Left, right, 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 left, right.
Thought it was funny or not.
Look, Judy, I'm sorry,
Well,
okay?
perhaps you should have thought about that before you made me look like a complete idiot. My God.
No one was inside, so I waited for you.
Christopher.
What?
Christopher.
What the heck is going on here?
Christopher. I'm so sorry.
What for?
I suppose it's me and Ed's here.
Where's your father, Christopher?
He's back in Swindon.
Cheers to that.
But how did you get here?
I got here by train.
Oh my God. Christopher. I didn't think I'd...
Why are you here on your own? Christopher, you're soaking. Roger, don't just stand there.
Are you going to stand there all night? Are we going to come in?
Father killed Wellington, so that meant that he could kill me.
Are you kidding me?
Roger, please. Christopher, let's get you inside and get you dried off.
Come on then, soldier. You'll catch your death out here.
You? Hello, Roger.
Do you have any food that I can give him?
Are you okay, Christopher?
I'm tired.
I know. I can get you a blanket.
No, don't. I have a sleeping bag in my book bag.
Christopher, will you at least let me help you get your jacket back on? It'll stay nice and warm. You could get yourself into bed. Here, pass me your jacket. It's okay. There you go. Christopher, you're very brave.
Yes.
You never wrote to me.
I know.
Why didn't you write to me, Christopher? I wrote you all those letters. I kept thinking something dreadful had happened, or you'd moved away and I'd never find out where you were.
Father said that you died. Father said you died and that you had a heart attack and that it wasn't very serious at first. Why are you doing that?
Christopher. Christopher. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
What for?
How could Christopher, will you let me hold your hand? Please. Just for once.
I don't like people holding my hand.
No? Okay. That's okay.
I need to speak to him.
He's been through enough today already.
I know, but I still need to speak to him. Christopher Boone, please can you come join us at the door?
Come on, Christopher.
Christopher, love. It's all right. Just come join us over here, will you, sweetheart?
Is she going to take me back to Swindon?
No, Christopher, she isn't.
Are you going to let her take me back to Swindon?
No, I won't.
Your father says you went away? Is that right?
Yes.
Is this your mother?
Yes.
Why did you run away?
Because Father killed Wellington, and that meant that he could kill me.
So I've been told. Do you want to go back to Swindon?
I want to stay here.
And how do you feel about that?
I want to stay here.
Hang on, I'm asking your mother.
Ed told Christopher I was dead.
Okay, let's not get into an argument about who said what here. I just want to know
Of course he can stay. Of course.
Well, I think that probably settles it as far as I'm concerned.
Is she going to take me back to Swindon?
talking to her whether you like it or not.
Roger, don't.
I will not be
Please.
spoken to like that in my own
I'll
home.
talk to how I bloody well please.
Ed, you have no right to be here.
He's my son, in case you've forgotten.
What in God's name did you think you were playing at, saying those things to
You
him?
were the one that bloody left.
Now let's all calm down.
So you just decided to wipe me out of his life altogether?
Isn't that what you wanted?
I wrote to him every week.
What use is writing to him?
Whoa.
I cooked his meals, I cleaned his clothes, I looked after him every weekend, I looked after him when he was ill, I took him to the doctor, I went to school every time he got into a fight, I worried myself sick every time he wandered off somewhere at night, and you wrote him some letters!
So you decided it was okay to tell him his mother was dead!
Now is not the time.
I'm seeing him, and if you try to stop me...
Christopher, it's all right. I won't let him hurt you.
Christopher? Mate, I am so sorry about the letters. Christopher, I never meant to hurt you. I'm so sorry. Christopher, please.
Mr. Boone.
What do you do here? Did you call her?
Mr. Boone, come on, man.
Don't you make me this is my son.
I know. This can all be sorted out. Just come with me, please.
Ed, you should go. He's frightened. It's okay.
I'll be back. Christopher, I promise you, lad, I'll be back.
You just go back to sleep. Everything's going to be all right. I promise.
He can stay here for a few days.
He can stay as long as he needs to stay.
The flat is hardly big enough for 3 people.
Roger, he can understand what you're saying, you know.
There's no school for him to go to. We have jobs. It's bloody ridiculous.
Roger, that's enough. You can stay as long as you need to stay.
You need to yell at him like you're actually angry with him.
Okay. Roger, that's enough. You can stay as long as you need to stay.
I have to go back home to Swindon.
Christopher, you've only just gotten here.
I'm meant to be taking my A-level maths next week.
You're doing A-level maths?
Yes, and I'm going to be taking it on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays.
God, Christopher, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yes, but I can't go back home to father, so I had to go back to Swindon with you.
I don't know whether that's going to be possible.
But I have to take my A-levels math.
Christopher, look, let's just talk about this some other time, okay?
Okay, but I still have to take my A-levels.
Christopher, please.
What kind is it?
I have strawberry flavor,
What's it called here?
It's called Hampstead Heath. I love it. You can see all over London.
Where is that airplane going to?
Heathrow, I think. Christopher, I rang Mrs. Gascoigne. I told her you'll be taking your maths A level next year.
What?
Oh, Christopher, it's okay. Calm down. Just breathe. Breathe.
Here we are.
Look.
You went to the radio. 100 number puzzles. It's from the library. This one is about nuclear power. And this one is the origins of the universe.
Wow.
These are for children.
Roger.
Oh my God. Nice to know my contributions were appreciated.
Christopher, I made you a chart. Because you've got to eat, love. This is a Slim Fast, and it's strawberry flavored.
A Slim Fast.
Roger, please. Christopher, if you drink 200 milliliters, then I'm going to put a bronze star right here on your chart. Roger, for God's sakes, please. Let me do this. Christopher, if you drink 400 milliliters, then I'm going to put a silver star on your chart.
Wow.
And if you drink 600 milliliters, then you get a gold star.
A gold star. Oh, that's very original, I have to say.
I can't wait.
Don't you ever think about anyone but yourself for once? Yeah, I bet you're very proud of yourself now, aren't you?
Christopher, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I promise. This will never happen again.
What time is it?
It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
What are you doing?
I'm packing some clothes.
Where's Mr. Shears?
He's asleep. You're coming with me, so grab Toby and let's get into the car.
Into Mr. Shears's car?
That's right.
Are you stealing the car?
Christopher, I'm just borrowing it.
Where are we going?
We're going home.
Are we going back home so I can take my A levels math?
What?
I'm meant to be taking my A levels math tomorrow.
Christopher, we're going back to Swindon because if we stay in London any longer, someone's going to get hurt. And I don't necessarily mean you, so I need you to be quiet for me for a while.
How did you get in here?
This is my house too, in case you've forgotten.
Is your fancy man here as well?
Christopher, there's no need to panic. He's gone now.
Where is he going?
He's going to go pack, and he's going to stay at a friend's house for a while.
Is he going to be arrested?
What for?
For killing Wellington.
Christopher, I think he'll only get arrested if Mrs. Shears presses charges.
What are those?
It's when you ask the police to arrest somebody for doing little crimes. They only arrest people for little crimes if you ask them.
Was killing Wellington a little crime?
Yes, love, it is. In the next few weeks, we're going to try and find a place of our own to live in.
Does that mean that I can still take my maths A level?
Christopher, you're not listening to me, are you?
I am listening to you.
I told you. I rang your headmistress. I told her you're in London. I told her you'd take it next year.
But I'm here now, so why can't I take my maths A
Christopher!
level?
I'm sorry. I didn't know we'd be back. This isn't going to solve anything.
Well, look who it is.
Where are we going?
What a nerve. Strutting around here as though nothing ever happened.
Ignore her, Christopher.
So, he's finally dumped you too then, has he?
What is Mrs. Shears doing?
Don't try and pretend you didn't have it coming, because you absolutely did.
Where are we going?
We're going to the school.
So, you're Christopher's mother?
That's right.
And you're...
Siobhan. It's very nice to finally meet you.
Yes. Yep. Very nice to meet you too.
Hello, Christopher.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
I'm very tired.
He's a bit upset.
Because of the A-levels, you said?
He won't eat. He won't sleep.
Yeah. Well, I spoke to Mrs. Gasquion shortly after you called.
Right.
She actually still has your A-levels in 3 sealed envelopes in her desk.
I do actually still have your A-level papers in my desk.
Does that mean that I can still take my maths A level?
I think so. I'm going to ring the Reverend Peters to make sure that he can still come in as your supervisor. And she's going to call the Board of Examination to tell them that you are going to take your exam after all. Christopher, I just wanted to tell you now so that you had some time to think about it.
Think about what?
Is this what you want, Christopher? Because if it's not, no one is going to be angry with you. Certainly not me. And it won't be wrong, or illegal, or stupid. It will just be what you want, and that is more than enough.
I want to.
Okay. How tired are you?
Very.
And how's your brain when you think about maths?
I don't think it works very well.
Can you tell me what the logarithmic formula for approximate numbers, prime numbers not greater than x is?
I can't think.
This is Joey exciting. Hey, Christopher. Well, I'm excited anyways. Now, the exam's gonna last for 2 hours. First thing to do is flip over the paper and write your name. Now, begin.
Two, three, 5, 7, 100.
You were right, Christopher.
I can't read the question.
What do you mean?
I can't read the question.
Can you see the question?
I can see the question, but when I look at the paper, all the words seem mixed up and confused and don't make sense to me.
Right.
Can you read the question to me?
Christopher, I'm afraid I'm not allowed to help you like that.
Christopher, catch your breath, catch your breath.
It's all right. Catch your breath. And go ahead and count your numbers again.
2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19.
That's much more like it. All right. Now, can you read the question?
Show that a triangle with sides that is written in the form n squared plus 1, n squared minus 1, and 2n, where n is greater than 1, is right angled.
You don't have to tell us.
What?
You don't have to tell us how it's solved.
But it's my favorite
I
question.
know that, but it's not very interesting. People don't want to hear about the answer to a maths question in a play. Look, Christopher, how about this? After you've taken your bow and everything is said and done, everyone who wants to leave can leave, and everyone who wants to stay to hear how you solved the math equation can stay.
Okay.
Don't scream. I'm not going to hurt you, Christopher. I just wanted to ask you how the exam went.
Tell him, Christopher. Please, Christopher.
I don't think I got any of the questions right. I hadn't eaten much and I was very tired.
Thank you.
For what?
Just thank you. I'm very proud of you, Christopher, very proud. I'm sure you did really, really well.
Flat.
It's not really a flat. It's a room. It's very small and the corridor's painted brown. Other people use the toilet, so Mother has to clean it before I can use it. And sometimes there are other people in there, so I do wet myself. Mother has work sometimes, so I had to stay with Father. I push my bed up against the doors in case he tries to come in. He tries talking to me through the door. I don't answer. Sometimes he sits outside and he just doesn't say anything. Can I come and live in your house so I'll have a room to put all my things and I won't have to share a toilet with a stranger?
No, Christopher, you can't.
Why not? Is it because I'm too noisy and sometimes I'm too difficult to control?
Christopher, no. It's okay. It's because I'm not your mother. Do you understand that, Christopher? It is incredibly important to me that you understand that.
I don't know.
I'll be here.
I'll do you a deal. 5 minutes, okay? Christopher, things can't keep going on like this. I don't know about you, but this just hurts too much. You need to learn to trust me. And I don't care how long it takes. If it's a minute one day, and 2 minutes the next, and 3 the next, and it takes years. I don't care. Because this is important. This is more important than anything else. Let's call it a project. A project we have to do together. And I have to show you that you can trust me. And it's going to be difficult at first because it's a difficult project. But it will get better. I promise. And I have a gift for you to show you that I do mean what I say. And to say sorry. And because you'll see what I mean. She's a 2-month-old golden retriever. Christopher, I would never do anything to hurt you.
What's she called?
She doesn't have a name yet.
Sandy. She's called Sandy.
Christopher, you won't be able to take Sandy away with you, I'm afraid. The flat's too small. But your father is going to look after her, and you could come over and you could take her out on a walk whenever you'd like. Ed, we should go now.
Yes.
Christopher will come back tomorrow, and you can see Sandy then.
Here,
What is this?
it's your results. You have to open it and read it. What does it say?
I got an A star.
Aren't you happy?
Yes, it's the best result.
I know. How's your dog?
He's very well, thank you. I stayed last week at Father's because Mother got flu and he slept on my bed so he could bark in case anybody tries to come into my room at night.
Right, and How are you getting along with your father?
He planted a vegetable patch in his garden. I helped him, and Sandy watched. We planted carrots and peas and spinach, and I'm going to pick them when I'm ready. He bought me a book which is called Further Maths for A level, and he told Mrs. Gasquion that I'm going to take further maths next year. And she said okay.
Okay.
I'm going to pass it and get an A star, and then in 2 years, I'll take A-level physics and get an A star, and then I'm going to go to university in another town, and I can take Sandy and my books and my computer, and I can live in a flat with a garden, and then I will get to the first-class honors degree. Then I will be a scientist. I can do these things.
I hope so.
I can because I went to London on my own. I found out who killed Wellington. I found my mother. I was brave.
Very brave, Christopher.
And I wrote a book.
I know. I read it, and we turned it into a play.
Does that mean that I can do anything, do you think? Does that mean I can do anything, Shaban? Does that mean I can do anything? Director, Miss Blanchett, to come down, and her husband, Mr. Blanchett. Oh, Danny, that's his name. Can we get Silas, Van Loo, and Dan Van Loo down here too?
Good job. You did great. You did great.
This is for you.
Where do they come down?
They're right here.
Oh! Here, I have this one for you, and this one for you.
Thank you guys for coming. This marks our 50-year anniversary for East Bay Theater. We started in 1973. December 25th, actually, is when our charter started. And we have a huge season of shows. So my husband, it comes out and he does our sets for us, and begrudgingly, because he also, tries to run a business, but he comes out and builds. But we want to make sure that we give the most extra special recognition to the Van Loo family, Mr. Van Loo and his lovely wife, Monica. And Silas is a student here at East Bay, and of course, Sadie is one of our thespian presidents. And up in the booth is another Van Loo, which is Ian Van Loo, who and I think And I think sitting next to Mrs. Van Loo is Sam Van Loo, I think. And the reason that we are thanking them is because they took it upon themselves to revamp our sound. And I can only show you 3 things right here because all of the wonderful, beautiful equipment is up in the booth, but these are floor mics that were actually built by the Van Loo family, which has assisted us tremendously. In addition to that, our entire booth was renovated. I had no idea that it was even going on, and then one day it was just like everything was there with custom-made furniture, with new computers, with iPads that we can control the sound from the house, right up to monitors so that we can live stream the show and that we can video all of the shows. It is absolutely tremendous. In my 25 years here, I have never seen a family do all of this. We didn't even ask. It was just, hey, we should do this because it needs to be done. And what I can promise you is we will have pictures, and we will put the pictures of all of the new booth equipment up when you come back to see our next show, which I'm giving them a full 48 hours off, and we have auditions on Monday for our next show, which is Chicago. So we will definitely hope that you all come out and see us. I want to make sure that we also recognize our wonderful principal, Miss Amy Stevens-Cox, that is in the audience tonight. If it wasn't for a fantastic administration, we would not have such a strong performing arts program here at East Bay. And she has been at other events today, including outside all day, supporting our Access students at the incredible games at Bloomingdale, and then in the office working until probably about 5:30, and then running home and then coming back here. And we just cannot thank her enough. So we want to thank all of you for being here, and we definitely hope that you enjoy the show. We have a new program at East Bay High School, which is our ACE program. We are now an ACE diploma school. I am so thrilled to say that I was part of the inaugural year of ACE, and that we had an 80% pass rate of our students who took ACE drama. Thank you. And what that means is that those students will receive 3 college credits for a humanities course in college. That's also an acceleration to their GPA. We will be, we are in the process of it. I think that we are up and running for our incoming freshmen to be an ACE diploma school, which is a huge, huge thing for our students, which means that if they graduate with 6 ACE classes, which they've passed their benchmarks on, then they will get full Bright Future scholarships, and that is tremendous. We are offering 2 ACE drama classes. We are offering ACE A and ACE AS drama next year, and this is what we talked about in the show. The reason this show was even brought to us is this was on the required reading list last year for ACE drama. My students read it last year. Last year was the last year that this was included, but they read it last year and absolutely fell in love with it. Thought that it was a story that needed to be told about our autism community, and they decided that this was something that we needed to include. So thank you again. I'm done talking. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.